It is Wednesday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus Digital Desk. I am Taylor Gattoni with the Claudia Sella from Studio 10.
Halfway through the week, we're almost there.
We're making it.
Yeah.
We're making it through.
Especially, it's been a really good week. How about you?
I feel like the rain has kind of like put me in a funky mood. I don't know if anyone feels that way. Like sometimes, no?
Yeah, I can't tell if it's summer or fall either.
You know what? And I think that's what it is too, because we're in the 60s. We went from like really hot to like fall, and it was like, oh, so I think I'm still like adjusting. Yeah.
Yeah, and I live in an apartment, so I have to, a small apartment, so I have to like put my winter clothes away for storage. And I'm like, do I take them out? That's a lot of work. I don't know. It'll have to be like 50 degrees before I do that.
Okay, question though.
Yeah.
Have you put out any fall or Halloween decorations yet?
Okay, so I made a rule this year. I have to wait until the first official day of fall to put out Halloween stuff, but I do have like little hints of fall here and there.
Okay.
I have a little, like, yeah, and the candles.
What, in the official day? Just in September 22nd or 23rd?
23rd.
23rd. All right, that is the fall equinox. At 1 in the morning?
Yeah, like so it's like
All right, there you go. Well, Justin will have more on that coming up soon, but what is coming up on Studio 10?
We've got a big show today, a big, great for the middle of the week. So first of all, we're of course going to be talking about the VMAs. We're going to have a whole section of the show dedicated to talking about a recap. What did we see? What did we like? What did we
Colton
not
was very
like?
happy with it.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of imagined that Colton would be happy with it. But just like all the takeaways, some of the outfits, who was there, who wasn't there, all of those things. So we're going to go over the recap. And then we're also going to be talking about did you see the new fall Oberon drink?
No.
Okay, so they just released, or they just announced that they're going to have a fall Oberon. It's like a fall and winter combo, so it's good for both seasons.
Are we getting like a certain flavor, like a certain label? What's going on with it?
Okay, so the label's really cute.
Okay.
It looks like fall and winter. It's kind
like
of hard
that.
to, yeah, it's really cute.
I
I'm
don't have to
super
pull this up.
excited.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can look it up on here?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay. I know. I want to show it to people. Oh yeah, you got to click it around a bit. Maybe the mouse is dead.
I think the mouse might have
The mouse
died.
might be dead. All right, we'll have to show you guys another
Yeah,
time.
we'll have
then.
to show you another time. But
Tune in to Studio 10 at 3 to see it. There you
will
go.
be showing it. Yes, we're going to be talking all about it. And then we're also going to talk. I actually last night got to talk to the Michigan Anglers of the Year, the Youth Anglers of the Year
there you
fishing. And it was really cool because that was actually one of the first stories I ever did at News 10 was back way in the day, 2 years ago, when one of the Anglers of the Year got his first like title ever, and so now it's cool to see him 2 years later, and it's his birthday, so I'm super excited.
Well,
to
happy
share
birthday.
this.
What was his name?
Rylan Hamlin. So
Rylan Hamlin. That's a cool name.
I know.
That's
Isn't
like
that
a
cool
TV name. We'll have to get you on TV, Rylan Hamlin. I like that. Congrats.
Yes,
and happy birthday.
Yes, the duo Rylan and Jack are great. I'm really excited to share their story because they are truly champions. So
awesome.
7th in the nation, 10th in the world. Yeah, right?
Well, I'm not great at fishing, but I would
I
never
know.
go up against them, okay?
Yeah, so super excited to share their work with the world because they're hard at work representing us, Michigan. And then we're going to be talking with the Wharton Center behind the curtain, kind of showing a glance into what they have coming up. I'm not going to give too much away because that one I think is one that you just have to see.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have the is it Blues Fest is this weekend. I always get that. I always want to
There's
call
always
it
so many
something
things
else.
happening.
Yeah, I always want to call it something else, but Blues Fest is happening this weekend, and we're going to talk about how you can get there with CATA. So
All right.
we've got
Cat is helping out.
full show, and then we also have the Sloan exhibit giveaway. So yeah, really full show.
Super cool.
It is really cool.
Really, I know. I want to go. I want
Yeah.
to go. I want to check it out.
I
So.
saw it years ago, actually, when it was in Grand Rapids, because this exhibit travels, and it was really eye-opening. And
It's the human body. You get to learn like all of that.
yeah, it was almost like humbling in an experience because everyone there, like when you're all standing around looking at this together, it's like it doesn't matter. Like, because underneath, we are literally all the same. We are
Say that
all
again.
humans. We are all the same underneath. and the skeletal system proves that. And you
like
can
that.
see it literally. That's what's so cool.
That's your Wednesday wisdom of the
That's
day. There you
Wednesday
go.
wisdom. Yeah, so it's really cool, and I think Nicole had a really great time with that. But
Do you know
full
how
show.
long the exhibit lasts for?
I do not, but we do have it on our website, and I think we're going to talk about it today, too.
Well, perfect. There we go. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna check
All
it
right,
out.
but we will see you at 3 p.m.
Sounds good. Thank you, Claudia. Again, 3 p.m. is when Studio 10 is coming up. And this is where you can always stay up to date with Studio 10. Of course, if you want to check out the Slow Museum, where me and Claudia were just talking about that ticket giveaway and learning about the human body. You get to see like the arteries and the skeletal system and like just so many different things they were talking about. So yeah, you can go check that out on their social media. Of course, you can also go to @WILX Studio 10. And yeah, so go there, check out any of their past videos, and you can check it out, see what it's all about. It is a good time. All right, but we do have Justin here because we were talking about it feeling like fall, and it is.
I know.
It is cold.
Yeah, fall season's coming up officially. We were kind of mentioning. I just looked at it. I thought I know it's in the middle of the night from Friday night into Saturday the 23rd this year. It's officially about 10 minutes to 3 a.m. on Saturday the 23rd,
okay.
and so the first official full day of fall is going to end up being Saturday. A week from Saturday. This Saturday, by the way.
This Saturday.
A week from this.
Oh,
Saturday.
okay, I was like,
Yes.
it's not the 23rd already, is it?
Yes,
Okay.
no, not quite there yet, but we're moving that way, and the fall weather is certainly in full effect out there today. But we have got maybe a late little push of summer in next week, just in time for the end of the official season. So we'll be watching that as well.
And you know, I think we need that because, like Claudia and I were saying, it's like we got thrown into fall, which is fine. It's fine to fall into that. But yeah, kind of like transition with those summer temperatures that you were talking about. We'll take a look outside for that.
And one, they're weird because some people still like the fall, and some people want it to stay summer, and so you got people who are very split this time of year. Too,
All right, let me
so.
bring it back. Which one are you for? Because Studio 10 the other day would you take a, what was it, 102 degrees or something like that?
102 or 32?
Or 32.
What would you rather have? I take 32 because you can always put on layers. There's only so many you can take off.
No, I have to.
That's always kind of the way that I go with it. I mean, but I'd really like it to be 72, 82, one of those numbers in there. I really like that a lot.
All right, I stand with you on that one. All right,
Yeah,
okay.
So that's pretty good. But I don't know if we have 82 working into the forecast necessarily, but there'll be lots of opportunities 72 and above.
We get a
So,
little close.
Yeah, so we'll look forward to that in this forecast as well. You just saw outside, there's MSU. You can see clouds have kind of hung on, lingered a little bit across a lot of the area, but there are a few areas who are seeing some blue sky. One of those is Jackson from this other view of our Meridian Company Skycam Network view. And so you notice there, starting to see a little more sun come out, and for that reason, the temperatures are warmer in southern sections. Jackson 63, 65 in Hillsdale, Marshall's at 67. Everybody to the north, we're talking Mason to Lansing and north and east of that line, all the numbers are pretty close to 60 degrees still. We're kind of stuck here this afternoon. So it's going to be tough to move these temps. I do think clouds will filter out a bit late today. That might get us to the mid-60s, but a lot of folks going to be cooler than normal today, and you can see where that cool air bubble is. Even folks in Rapid City, South Dakota, are well into the 80s. We're just not seeing it here in the Great Lakes. We've got a northerly wind component, and so that's kind of been playing in here too. We also wanted to keep an eye on what is still Hurricane Lee, which is now a high-end Category 2 storm at the top of our 2 o'clock hour update here. You can see that off in the Atlantic. It's moving north-northwest at 9 miles per hour, and as we put things into motion ahead, right now that little kind of red speck that you see just to the right of the cone of Lee, that is the island of Bermuda out there, which is under a warning for tropical force storm winds, and they're going to expect to see maybe some impacts from this system as it skates on by. Hopefully not a direct hit, and right now it does not look like it will be, which is good. However, it does look like a system that is going to trek towards the parts of the very far northeastern United States, if not head into the areas like Cape Cod and in around New England. It does look like it could very well go into parts of Maine or maybe portions of Canada over there, and so that's something that we'll keep an eye on. As you see here, this tracks all the way out to our past Friday morning there, where it would still be of hurricane status, or Friday evening rather, but into Saturday morning. That's when it would be making an approach. So this is something we'll watch the next few days. especially for folks who live or have relatives in that area. It's going to be something to keep an eye on. And I really like to show this hour by hour because you can sort of see the very well-defined eye of this hurricane as it makes its way through. There's some of the outer rain bands striking Bermuda on Thursday night into Friday morning, but it does skate by.
Wow.
Only then it's going to maybe take a turn sort of towards parts of the Northeast. And so you see parts of Cape Cod, the Northeast, getting hit by some of the rain bands by early Saturday morning. And so once again, something we're going to keep an eye on for the folks who are there. But around home, much quieter weather than certainly dealing with any sort of tropical system. We've got clear skies tonight developing. We'll go back down into the 40s. So another cool start tomorrow morning. I do think the numbers try to recover to near 70 degrees. I think a lot of upper 60s tomorrow, but a few maybe break through and get to 70 or 71. And then after another cool start Friday morning, I think we're going to lose the temperatures in the afternoon map off here because it gets too far out. But you see briefly it gets to the 70s by close to noon. I think by the time we hit our Friday evening, we're going to have some really nice conditions with numbers in the low to mid 70s across our state. And so you'll see in the 10-day forecast here, we are warming up a bit towards this weekend and the end of the week. The next chance for rain doesn't creep in until Saturday night into Sunday. Right now, it looks like those showers are after the end of the Spartan football game against number 8 Washington, which of course is between two undefeated teams just into this young season at 2-0 apiece. So we'll see how that goes. I believe Washington heavily favored right now by more than 2 scores, but you never know what can happen. It is a home game for Michigan State. Of course, they've had a lot going on off of the football field as of late. However, they are going to be playing that game against a top 10 team, and so should have some nice weather for that on Saturday evening. After that point is when we'll see the rain move into for the tail end of the weekend, maybe Monday as well. But one thing is for certain, we're going to get back up into some very pleasant temperatures by the middle of next week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday all have got mid to upper 70s, and I think it's pretty likely somebody somewhere in our area ends up getting to 80 degrees probably next Wednesday. And so not completely done with the summer heat left. However, you see that last final Friday of the 10-day forecast. Well, that day in and of itself isn't set in stone weather-wise. The following day just off of our 10-day, that Saturday, that is the first day of fall. And so starting tomorrow, and even starting in the 10-day forecast that will be shared by meteorologists Colton Sikoraki and Andy Provenzano this evening, they will have the fall icon on that graphic in the 10-day forecast. And so we're getting close to the official changeover to the season. However, even though it's feeling like fall today, we do still have some arguably late summer type weather days that are left in this forecast, and we know that we can certainly get 70s deep into October as well, and so that'll be something we're watching closely. But right now it looks like a pretty good forecast. Just that one shot for rain late in the weekend, and then maybe late next week, but again, that's 10 days out, remains to be seen. We'll see how the pattern evolves before then.
And you know, the little rain pattern right there at the end of the 10-day forecast on Friday, that leads in perfectly to the fall equinox with more of those. You know, it's still low 70s, but with the rain showers, I feel like it gives you that fall feel.
It does, definitely. And that the sort of gloomier weather we get as we get deeper into fall, where we see more cloud cover, all of that stuff, I expect that'll be coming back. So you get high 70s and sunshine next week. Enjoy that. Those days, I promise you, are numbered, and so enjoy them whenever they show up.
Yeah, and for Michigan State game, this, Justin, is the first game where they're going to be selling alcohol, beer and wine at Spartan Stadium. And this is to avoid people over drinking before, right? You're pre-gaming, all of that. Ease up, you know, take it easy on yourself. They're going to be selling beer and wine at the stadium. So there you go, and we'll see how it goes with everything.
That's the idea, at least, and hopefully put into practice really well. If you can, you know, whatever you're doing, your own power, be responsible, spread things out. That's probably a lot better way to go than trying to just crush a bunch of stuff at once and then head in. And so hopefully it's good try, and it's all going to depend on how things go, right? If it does not seem like this is an improvement, that could very well end up going away and it could revert. So the people who would like to see this be something moving forward, you got to keep that in mind, behaviorally speaking, of course. So folks know what they're doing.
Michigan State Police, we are actually bringing in Dana White. So she'll be coming in next Friday to recap how, you know, the first alcohol sales went. So we'll see. Be on your best behavior, and it'll keep going.
Course.
If not, you may have to change some things.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, but you can always stay up to date with the First Alert Weather app when it comes to your weather, Justin.
Yeah, of course, and it's great to have. We tout it all the time, but you've got your daily video updates that we constantly provide. These are updated several times a day by all of our fine First Alert meteorologists here. In addition to the daily video updates, you are going to get your real-time traffic info, hour-by-hour forecasts, future, current, and past radar, All of that and a whole lot more, and it's right in the palm of your hand or your pocket, wherever you like to store that thing. We've got the App Store and Google Play where you can get that. And once again, it is absolutely free. One of the best words ever created by mankind. WILX, weather's all you have to do to search to get that right there. Absolutely no cost to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Justin. Now, again, you can see First Alert Meteorologist Colton Sikoracki later on for Studio 10 and for First at 4. You'll see Andy Provenzano for our 90 minutes of news and later tonight. And Justin, you have a busy, exciting day today, so I'm going to let you go. But
yes, I'm very
thanks
excited.
for being here and
Thank you very
updating
much.
us.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, I want updates later.
Yes, very
All
good.
right, sounds good. In the meantime, here's what's coming up on First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. All right, so we are bringing Chris Swope, the Lansing City Clerk, talking about voter registration today. And it may seem like elections are a little bit out, but hey, it's always a great idea to start planning well in advance. Of course, Michigan does have same-day registration, but, you know, hey, get to know what you need to prepare for starting now. So we'll do that, kind of get your brains thinking. Coming up, News 10 at 5. Today, closing arguments were held in the trial for the men accused of having a hand in the plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. We'll have the latest out of Northern Michigan coming up on News 10 at 5. Moving on to News 10 at 5:30, our very own Kellen Buddy was on hand as the Car of the Year and Truck of the Year were announced at the North American International Auto Show. And let me tell you, a lot of cool vehicles were at this auto show, and makes sense because we are in Detroit area. Coming up on News 10 at 6, we will have what UAW International President Shawn Fain had to say during a Facebook Live as the deadline to avoid a strike inches closer and closer. That deadline coming up 11:59 p.m. tomorrow, Thursday night. So they need to come to an agreement. The big three automakers as well as the UAW workers come to that agreement to avoid a strike. Again, if that deal does not go through, they don't agree, a possible strike could happen as early as Friday. But again, we will have more coming up on News 10 at 6 to go over all of those details. And yes, there you go. Now, we also have our reporters out and about, so we want to share what else is coming up during our 90 minutes of news. I'm going to send it out to them.
Hi, Taylor. Thank you. Take a look at the showroom floor behind me. Now, these are some of the newest vehicles that General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis have to offer in the near future. But right now, they're facing a pending strike from the UAW. I'm Riley Connell, and coming up on News 10 at 5, I'll tell you a little bit more about what industry leaders say about the soon expiring contract with their workers. Mars, tell us what you're working on.
Thanks, Riley. Mars Anderson here in Hazlet. I had the opportunity to talk with a survivor of sexual violence about a new program launched by the Attorney General's office to provide some protection as she returns back to normalcy. Now, I'll have more on that in our 90 minutes of news. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Deanna.
Thanks, Mars. Patient access to care is essential, and when we're dealing with a national nursing shortage, it can be difficult. New legislation proposed by both the House and the Senate of Representatives could mean hospitals would have to turn away patients. I'm Deanna Giles, and I'll have details on News 10 at 5:30. Tanaya.
Thanks, Deanna. Can you guess where I am right now? I'm standing right inside the former historic Masonic Temple building in downtown Lansing. It'll soon be the newest location for City Hall. I'll have that story coming up today and what's in store for the new location coming up on News 10 at 6. Aaron, what are you working on?
Thanks, Tanaya. I'm Erin Bowling, and today I'm in Lansing speaking with our local UAW union leaders about the potential for a strike this Thursday at midnight. That's because at 5 o'clock today, the national UAW president is going to be making an announcement about their strategy. So I spoke with our local union leaders about that strategy and how they're feeling about it, and I'll have that story on News 10.
All right, thank you, Riley, Mars, Deanna, Tanaya, and Aaron for sharing what you have coming up during our 90 minutes of news today. I also want to say that while Justin and I, and even Claudia and I, were talking about fall on the way here, again, the fall equinox starts on Saturday, September 23rd. There you go. Almost lost track of the day there. Mars Anderson actually had a great seasonal depression package. So talking about when you have the lack of sunlight, you're cooped up indoors more, you don't have all the sun and the vitamin D that you're absorbing from being outside. can get a little moody and kind of down in the dumps. So you can go onto WILX.com, look back at Mars Anderson's package on seasonal affective disorder, also known as seasonal depression, and learn what you can do. I know some of us in the newsroom and I myself have a little happy light, so those are some ways to get you going and make sure that your mood is staying positive, or at least you're able to do just fine. Speaking with mental health series, we have a new series here on News 10 called You're Not Alone Mental Health Series. And Ann Emmerich had the very first story go out, very touching, very heartfelt. It was about a 15-year-old boy out of Okemos who died by suicide. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention did have a report saying that around 50,000 Americans in the U.S., so there you go, in the U.S., will die by suicide each year. So you're not alone, and that's true. You are not alone. This is our mental health series and helping you, someone you love, anyone like that, find the mental health resources that they may need. And those mental health resources you can scan with your phone, scan that QR code up there, get all the resources you need to know. And maybe just not for you. Maybe it's a friend, a family member, maybe it's a coworker. So anything. Maybe you're passing someone at the grocery store and they seem to be a little bit down. Hey, resources are right there. And even just saying to someone, you're not alone. That helps you feel more together and like a community. And hey, Mid-Michigan is a great community. So again, You're Not Alone Mental Health Series. Go ahead, scan that QR code. Tomorrow, actually, we are talking about mental health on Mid-Michigan Matters. But again, this is just such a great way to make sure we're continuing to take care of the members in our community. Until then, we hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. You made it to the middle of the week, and so you have a couple more days to go until you're in the weekend. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.